Hi, I'm Jeffrey Hayzlett, chairman of the C-Suite Network and also host of All Business with Jeffrey Hayzlett right here on C-Suite TV and C-Suite Radio.
I'm Trisha Ben. I'm the CEO of C-Suite Network.
Thank you, Trisha. I wanted to take a moment just to tell everybody how we founded the C-Suite Network. You know, it used to be back when I was a Fortune 100 officer, I wasn't sure who to always trust when it came to looking for great partners and interacting with various people that were coming to me on the onslaught of being a chief marketing officer of a Fortune 100 officer. Because when you step out of your office or step into a conference or step into any room, you're immediately attacked by everybody that's coming up to you. And I wasn't sure who to trust. So I wanted a place to be able to have a trusted network. And I found that in various forms, but never in an organized fashion where I could come together and be able to trust other executives, takes the armor off when we got in the room, and be able to ask them the kinds of questions that I would like to know. And of course, be able to help my career and help that of my company.
Now, you wouldn't think that would be terribly revolutionary, but it really is, isn't it, Jeffrey? You know, as a chief marketing officer, as a person who was building businesses inside of enterprise-sized organization, I can relate completely. And that is something that's certainly driven how your vision of the C-Suite Network and launching the C-Suite Network has lived out in the everyday of the C-Suite Network and how we're scaling it every day.
And I wanted to do two other things. One, I wanted to make sure it wasn't just chief marketing officers or CEOs or CFOs or CIOs or chief technology officers. I wanted the entire C-suite. That is, for people who are vice presidents or greater, owners, presidents of the company, CEOs, CMOs, CFOs, all the various titles that we have that go together, VP or higher. And I also wanted to move with the changing times, and that is digital. And with digital comes content. And by creating great content, it led to a bigger community and, of course, leads to commerce. And that's what the C-Suite Network is about. It's a place for people to come together in a trusted network, use their content to grow their influence, their community, and, of course, do more business.
And as we love to say, we network, but we're not just a networking group. We're here for values-based leaders and creating an entire ecosystem where that trust is at the core, where we call out what doesn't work or what we refer to as false prophets, and really look to how we're supporting an entire ecosystem of values-based leaders who are looking for the principles of relevancy, reach, reciprocity, respect that we stand for together in community, but then also the platform and practicalities of how we see success for our executives, our owners, our investors, and influencers in the C-suite ecosystem.
And we do that through content with TV, with podcasts. We have over 450 podcast shows, over 20,000 network, 50 million downloads and counting. And of course, tons and tons of TV shows. That doesn't also include all of the authors that we have, all of the coaches, trainers, speakers, all the experts that are at your disposal as both a member or as a counselor in some way, shape, or form. So lots of opportunity to also come together with hundreds and hundreds of meetings that we do online and in person in communities or in vertical councils, peer-to-peer networks. So you can get a little education, motivation, inspiration, and of course, a chance at monetization. But first, you got to get involved and become a member of the C-suite. How do they do that, Trish?
What they need to do is just get involved. And the very easiest way to get involved in C-Suite Network is to become an executive leader. It's $99 a month or $1,000 a year, and you are now a leader in C-Suite. And this is something that I think is so incredible about the value proposition and the vision that you set out, Jeffrey, is our brand promise here at C-Suite Network is accelerated success for great business leaders who value their people and want to be able to give back to their communities with their success. So come on board, start leading in the C-suite, and there are numerous ways where you can be taking on that leadership, certainly benefiting from the time that you're spending. And we obviously are fully encouraging you come here, you have asks. We all need to move forward with our businesses, but you're also going to be asked what your give is. And that's where the networking goes way beyond networking to true connection and then collaborations. And as you love to say, Jeff, a little bit of monetization is certainly on the table as well.
So you just start with by being an executive leader, and then from there, if you need to excel your content, you can get them part of our media packages. We have media acceleration, brand acceleration packages, and then you can also join peer-to-peer networks, whether they be by geography, by verticals, by industry, or by size. There's lots of places for you to be able to get together with other trusted leaders as part of the C-Suite network. And so whether you're a VP or you're the CEO of the company, lots of ways for you to get involved. But first you have to click on that button below and become a member of the C-Suite, and we welcome you.
Now, when we welcome you, we will invite you to join us at an event we call Celebrates. This is when we celebrate all that's being accomplished in our communities of C-Suite Network, and certainly have that connection point every week. And we want to see that great success living out through our platform. And that's what the distinction is between a good group and truly a great community. We celebrate each other's successes as our own. And that high tide raising all boats is so critical in terms of not only how we operate in the C-Suite. Jeffrey mentioned future trends. If you're not collaborating as rapidly as your clients are coming to you with questions, you are already losing.
So I'm Jeffrey Hayzlett.
I'm Trisha Ben.
And we'll see you in the C-Suite. What sets the C-Suite network apart from all the other networking groups that are out there? Well, first of all, we're not a networking group. We just happen to be a network of trusted executives. And probably the biggest is we're not just based on one role, meaning we're not just for CEOs or for presidents, but we're for the entire C-Suite. So whether you're a VP, an owner, a partner, the CEO, or anybody that has a C in their name, SVP or EVP, the C-Suite network is for you.
Now, another thing that sets us apart in C-Suite Network is that we are unapologetically values-based. We share the 4 R's: relevancy, reach, reciprocity, respect. Relevancy is that when we are engaging in conversation, we're focused on that for each other and supporting each other with whatever that topic of conversation is. Reach, great people come from great people, and that's where we want to be invested. Certainly, when we look at reciprocity, we encourage you, ask. You're not in business if you don't have an ask, but be certain to have a give. And that's why C-Suite Network is frequently noted to be one of the most giving communities there is. And then respect. Respect is what we give because of who we are to others. Trust is earned. And of course, we're all earning trust and extending trust through our network and our community every day. But that respect is what we give because of the quality of people we are. And that sets us apart in terms of our diversity, of our ability to move and extend quickly through the relationships that have been formed over the course of decades, and see real success of our leaders in their next steps as they're scaling through their business and making it their success, not some other measurement of success or some other person's program. It's about your success, and we want to see that through for you.
Another big difference between us and other networks out there is don't come to us if you're looking for advice. At the C-Suite Network, we give counsel. Advice is given by people over and over who say to you that you want to be $1 million speaker, you want to do $10 million in new revenue, you want to raise $50 million in new capital. They'll give you advice, but advice is usually given by people who have never done it before. In the C-Suite Network, you'll talk to leaders who have been there and done that, and they'll provide counsel because they have done it, and they'll be able to say, hey, here's how I did this, or here's how I know another C-Suite executive did this. So the big difference, advice versus counsel, and you can always take counsel to the bank.
In the C-Suite Network, we look at any great leader as someone we want to see succeed. And that means their success matters. And we want to be delivering and supporting that through everything we provide in our ecosystem and our platform of community, content, counsel, and commerce. If you have been in those situations, and I don't know a business leader who hasn't, if you've been in those situations where you know you weren't given the right counsel, you weren't given the full picture, or you were sold something that really was about how it advanced the opportunity for the person selling that product or service to you, then you know that a place where you can go and trust that you're going to be given the advice that you would give, knowing what you know about your area of excellence or your area of expertise. That's where we want to be, and that's what we support here in the C-Suite Network. We're frequently asked, what is the time that I'll need to invest? How much time should I plan to spend? And that's where you really have to look at the value of what you're learning. We're not our teenage selves anymore. We want to learn from each other, and that collective wisdom of what we've been through. There has to be a trusted environment to share those items, to understand what has been experienced, what the outcome was, and why that result was what it was. So in the C-Suite Network, that level of trust, that level of transparency, and seeing each other through to success is something you'll come to see and certainly value. And that might be one introduction. It might be one meeting. It might be a meeting that you're enjoying every single week. That's up to you. But the value, that can be in the smallest amount of time, or the time that you decide that you're enjoying in one or more communities across the C-Suite platform.
Your value in the C-Suite comes from a variety of places, and wherever you look for it, you'll find it. But the biggest area is in the area of trust, a trusted community of executives just like you. Also, the trust in the content that you're receiving, and of course, trust in the interaction and counsel that you get. In fact, every single time we have a meeting, someone always goes, OMG, meaning that they've got more information from that one piece of nugget, whether it be content, whether it be counsel, or it be in the interaction or, an introduction from another trusted executive. And constantly they're telling us that one bit paid for itself, but you shouldn't just look there. It's also in the things that you hear from counsel or from those other executives in what not to do. So what to do and what not to do, there's value everywhere you look in the C-Suite Network. Everybody always asks, how much time is it going to take? Well, take as much time as you want. It depends on how much value you want to be able to pour, because the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. But you can't make everything. That's one of the unique things about the C-Suite. Even when I was sitting in the C-Suite in a Fortune 100 company, I couldn't make all the meetings, couldn't see all the things that we were doing, and you'll not be able to do that in the C-Suite. What you want to do is pick and choose based on your priorities, based on where you want to scale your business, based on where you need information, based on where you need introductions, based on where you need investment or any other pillar that we happen to represent. You pick and choose and get active and participate, because the more you put in, the more you'll get back. That's the C-Suite. One of the biggest jobs that we have in the C-Suite is not to be the smartest person in the room, but to be the most strategic. And that's what we help to do with every single executive in the C-Suite Network. So whether you're doing this for your company, or you're starting to look ahead at where you want to go as a C-Suite executive, you need to start to be strategic. And the C-Suite Network provides a host of programs and content, and of course, contacts to be able to help you be more strategic in the boardroom and in the C-Suite. We've had a little bit of an opportunity now to be able to hear from Tricia Ben, our CEO, and myself, Jeffrey Hayzlett, as chairman, to tell you more about the value of the C-Suite. Now it's time for you to act. And for less than the price of a meal per month, you can be a part of this growing and trusted network. So we encourage you to set a time with us or go directly to csuitenetwork.com and join.
I'm Tricia Ben, CEO of the C-Suite Network.
And I'm Jeffrey Hayzlett, chairman of the C-Suite Network.
And
we'll see you in the C-Suite.